I had no idea that this woman, Whitney, was a part of both of these apps at a moment in tech history where these apps were exploding, and really was a part of how we revolutionized how we engage online, how men and women interact, and how we date now. And so I was just completely sort of like, wow, who is this person? The first thing that happened with this movie was I was sent the script and was bowled over by this woman, Whitney Wolfe Herd, who our story is about, and her achievements and who she is as a woman and what she overcame, and then what she put out into the world as a direct response to her experiences felt so profound. And so I then came on board, and as things developed, it became clear really quickly that I also wanted to produce, so that I could be really a part of the DNA of telling this story. I didn't know anything really about her story. I knew about, obviously, Tinder, the dating app, which is humongous, and I knew about Bumble, which is Whitney's app that she founded. But I had no idea that that this woman, Whitney, was a part of both of these apps at a moment in tech history where these apps were exploding, and really was a part of how we revolutionized how we engage online, how men and women interact, and how we date now. And so I was just completely sort of like, wow, who is this person? And this story should be told. It's an important story. It's an inspiring story. And yeah, it's really kind of been very profound in my life taking on this role. I was just so shook to my core that there was this really young woman in her 20s, and this is pre-Me Too, you know, that when this whole event happened, the way in which she was treated online and in the media and the narrative that was put out just was inexcusable and so upsetting. And but I guess what's so wonderful and what we focus on in the film is like these brilliant, courageous, kind of once in a generation people. They take those experiences and make something good out of it. And creating Bumble, which she did, puts women in the driver's seat and endeavoring to make the internet safer for women, so that the girls that come after don't have to hopefully experience what she and many women have been through in similar instances. So it's really powerful.
You guys show her really having a hard time after she was like pushed out of Tinder. But then she pretty quickly and miraculously like channels it. And I was like, okay, it's something for me to work on, like not wallowing when something happens. But like, how good are you at like, like where do you fall on the spectrum of like, you know, being able to channel?
I think, you know, what's amazing as an actor is you're continually given these opportunities to channel experiences that you've had into your work, and it can be deeply cathartic. I also think we can give ourselves some grace. It's okay to have, you know, if something difficult happens to you in your life, challenging, you're allowed to, and you should, I think. You've got to let it move through you, and you've got to lean into it. And then hopefully all these experiences are teaching us something about ourselves, and it's what we do with it that really matters. So there's definitely good lessons in there. Yeah, I'm on a journey with that stuff.
If you've had like even just like a crazy day, what do you reach for at the end of the day? Like, is it candy? Is it an episode of Friends? Or is it...
I love Friends. I definitely watch Friends. I recently was watching it on one Sunday rainy afternoon in London, just like last weekend. I kind of a creature of comfort in that, like, if I can just climb into bed with a hot chocolate, or like, it often involves chocolate, and I like to feel kind of cozy, and for me, I like to get out of a city. If I'm having a tough time, I need to kind of see the horizon and be in nature and get a bit of perspective, clear your head.
Talk to me about creating this character, but she's also obviously a real person, but you're not you're not mimicking her by any means, but like, where was that line? And even just like from her, like the accent.
Well, no, you completely nailed it. I was trying to embody the essence of this character of Whitney and kind of do justice to her story, but bringing all of my own self to it, my own interpretation. But I did spend hours and hours watching her, and I would watch, there's an amazing masterclass that she does, which is brilliant. I implore everyone to watch it because it's very inspiring. And I would sit in front of the TV and I would stop and pause, and I would and I would slow down YouTube clips so that I could talk alongside her and mimic her hand gestures. And often it's about a kind of a rhythm and a pace of speaking. From watching her, something I was really picked up on is how fast her brain is going and how many thoughts she's having and how much impulse there is in her to kind of act and make a change. And so there's a kind of speed and an energy to the rhythm of how she speaks, and she speaks faster than I do. So I was trying to capture things like that, which are clues about the human.
I loved your chemistry with Myha'la in this, and I also loved I feel like she got to have a lot of fun with her look. But as a producer, can you tell me anything about what your conversations were about kind of what her character should be, the hairstyle, etc.?
Oh, my came up with that whole look. We had an amazing team. We had the same hair and makeup team actually that I worked with on Pam and Tommy, who are just formidable, Barry and David. And then we had our amazing costume designer Beth, and obviously alongside our director Rachel. They kind of created each character, and I thought that was so cool. It was very, you wanted her to feel like kind of, she had her band and a whole energy outside the tech bro space, so that she brought that in with such life and kind of power. But that time, it was when I first did my costume fittings, I was like, wow, these skinny jeans, and this is not a good look for me. I'm gonna really struggle with this fashion. And Beth, our designer, did a great job at kind of making it feel so authentic and real, but also elevating it so it felt kind of cinematic and cool. And it's an important, because that moment, it's in our recent history, but how different it was with how fast tech has progressed and how fast things are moving even quicker now with AI. It's like, it was important to get a kind of very retro feel, even though it's our very recent.